Good afternoon. It's Miss Kim with Miss Kim's Tarot and Tearoom.com. It is 3:38 p.m. on Sunday, June 21st, 2026. Happy summer solstice. Happy Father's Day. Since I was a single parent for so long, I bought myself some gifts for myself, and I want to share them with you. The first thing that I got is a pendulum that's got an evil eye on it. I went to Alchemy Aura, which is local. And then I realized when I got home, I already had one because I've got so many pendulums, but one can never have too many pendulums. So that is what I've got. And it really was magnetic. When I saw it, I knew there were several of them, but I knew that this one was definitely aligned with me. And then if you look, you can see I have hematite rings because I have felt so ungrounded for the last few days. And when that happens, the one thing that helps me ground is hematite. You'll see that around my neck or always on my fingers when that occurs. And I've got an unboxing. This is the Crow Tarot. Crow Tarot. Uh, it's never tarot, so don't say that. There's some people that says tarot, but I call it tarot. So we're going to unbox this in just a little bit. And also, I got a new deck of Rider-Waite cards. I was toying between the pocket size and this size, but I always like the way they feel in my hands. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what do you do when your cards are old. And if you look, I don't know if you can see the little black spots on here and over here. They'll get to where I call it full. And what I mean by that is when you go to spread them, they feel full because they've had so much energy. And I've read for so many people that I retire these cards. And so that is what's going to happen to this deck of cards because, you know, I read all day long and they eventually get full. Some people use salt, which I do not recommend because it leaves a film over the cards. Some people put the cards out in the sun, um, and which is really good. But you got to be careful when you're out there to make sure that it doesn't blow away. So I always put a stone over the cards and make sure they're getting sun. So I am also going to show you when you open a new deck of cards, um, how you can shuffle them very easy. And if you got a secondhand deck because you found some that you love and you know that there's no other ones, that they're vintage decks, you want to go through them and look at them to make sure that they are all there. But when you retire a deck of cards, what I do is take the cards and sit them in my little uh I've got a closed in area that keeps them clean and dust free, and I put all the Rider-Weights together that I've retired, and there's quite a few, and I stack them together, and then I've got the ones that I that are collector's items. And some of these are collector's items as well. So here we have, they're all in order. So say for instance, I'm going to take the advertisements off. So say for instance, you need to do a pretty fast spread. So what you want to do is put them in piles or draw out 7 cards, 7 piles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you keep, this will shuffle them up. Boy, these are clean. It feels like they just had a bath because they did. They just come hot off the press. So while you're shuffling them and you're going to go through and you're going to get 10 on, each pile. And that's letting you know or that you should have one left over in a 78 card deck. So then you'll know. Actually, it's 11, isn't it? Anyway, you should have one left over from your pile. I never said I was a mathematician. It's bad, I'll tell you. When you don't use that part of your brain, I stay in my uh side of my brain that's all about intuition, and it really is challenging for me sometimes to get in the other part of my brain. So here you go. We got this one extra card, which means there's 78, and it's already shuffled itself for me. And then you can put the pile together and then shuffle it again. So when you start to do a reading for someone, it is a clean read. And that is exactly what I want. So if they happen to reverse, then you read it reversed. Because I read straight up. And if the cards reverse themselves, then you know that you need to read them like that. So these guys are now ready to read for whoever. And my intuition told me today that I need to read for the Virgos that have made their way to this video, because I'm hearing that Virgos need a little bit extra attention right now. So the first card that I have is that there's secrets that are going to be revealed. And there could be a woman that interests a man that is being kept hidden from someone. And then here in the obstacle position is enlightenment, the ability to see things from a higher vantage point than sometimes other people do. So, and it takes being in a place of solitude in order to reach that level. And that is what it's showing. But here it is in the obstacle position. So it could be the challenge that you're not spending enough time alone to really look and get clarity of what's really going on. And then here I've got two cards that want to come out. It is saying the best you can arrive at is this card is basically showing somebody who is interested in your comings and goings, or you are interested and you're doing a little bit of spying, or they're doing a little bit of spying on you. And it is also saying this is on the intellectual plane, which is where Virgo lives. Success. But it also warns you not to be extreme. Now, I want to make it clear, Sun in Virgo and Moon in Virgo is what I was told to give this reading for, and then afterwards I might, do another one for everybody, the collective. But it is saying that you have to be careful about being too extreme in your beliefs. Black and white thinking, there's one way and only one way. And then it's showing over here this person who's very interested, or you're interested in somebody else's activities. They're spying. It can mean a nosy neighbor. Hopefully you're not the nosy neighbor. And then it's showing there could be in your foundation, or what you can work with, is where something suddenly collapses down to the very core, and it will require rebuilding. So you can work with and use this. This is to your benefit. make a mental note because there's something I have to say about that later. And then here we have someone from your past, maybe leaving your life. It's saying that things from the past that you have romanticized. It is saying things that were simple is kind of leaving and a new chapter is coming in, because this is the past. This is, reminiscent. And, if it were Bach flower remedies, I'd say it's time to take some honeysuckle because you're spending too much time in the past ruminating about the way things used to be. So that is a remedy for people that live in the past and can't get past where they are, past where they're past. So then this is saying you have the vantage point, although you may have a lot that will come at you at one time. So just be aware that there could be several things on the plate and you're able to stave it off, but also make sure that sometimes you don't put yourself in that energy field of doing that because you're used to doing that. And then here it is saying, yes, you need time for reflection. It is saying that you need time to contemplate where to go next. It is saying that if you have been in a space of illness, that this is your time of recovery and to get your strength back. And Virgos are all about their health, and Moon in Virgos are as well. So here, it is saying there could be a business opportunity that somebody may approach you and it sounds delightful, but somehow it is going to pull on your heartstrings. And you want to make sure that you are not allowing someone to manipulate you because of you having a tender heart to make you do something that you really don't want to do, other than feeling like you must do it because you're the only one. Um, and then it's showing that there is, in the hopes and fear, something around business, education, or school that's going to be very important. And then here is showing you get balanced. Now I'm going to go back to where I said I wanted to make a mental note of something from the past. So the other thing that I'm being told is there are people that you love. There are people that you have loved. And these people are leaving your life. Some of these people will leave your life. And it's not because of anything that you did wrong. It is because you have done something right and you are being elevated from the situation. But the first thing that Virgo Sun or Virgo Moon thinks, if something has happened that is unpleasant, that they take it as a failure on some part because they want to be perfect. We I've got a Virgo moon. They strive for perfection. And when they make a mistake, they are very affected by it. And the first thing they do is blame themselves. But here's what I'm being told, that there are people that have been in your life that have been removed from your life because you both would obstruct the other from going to where they need to go next. One, because you love them and you think that you know where they're supposed to be headed, and vice versa. But the problem is that love that you have is too extreme. And when the soul needs to grow, sometimes it pulls people apart because they would not go otherwise. So I just want you to know that if there has been a pulling away or a separation, it is not because you've done anything wrong. It is because what you are doing, you're going to a different train station and this person had to get off here. When I was, this is related and unrelated. Um, when I had my daughter and she was about 9 months old, her dad, my husband, and I split up. And I was really, really distraught by it because that would have been my second marriage and we had split. And I considered it a failure. Not that he was being abusive, which he was violently abusive, but that I wanted so hard to make sure that this marriage worked. But I was the only one. And we moved 250 miles away because I wanted to be far enough away to be safe and my daughter to be safe. So that was the only way that I knew to keep from being abused and harassed by him. So I left everything behind. And I remember one night I was just crying my eyeballs out because there I was with hardly any money, with a newborn child, and a broken marriage. And I did not know what to do. So that night, I was laying in bed meditating because I don't go to sleep without doing that every night. And I was meditating and I was just about to fall asleep, but I just still was distraught. So what happened was I heard a voice that was certainly not mine, and it was so much truth that I heard, Kim, I am not punishing you. I am protecting you because the lesson that this man has to learn would kill you if you had to do it with him. I am protecting you and don't think that I am punishing you. So after that, I had peace in my heart. I could let it go, you know? And that is what I'm trying to tell you. If you have been struggling with a relationship that you love the person so much and you do not understand why that is happening, that you are separated, this is an example that I'm giving you to tell you sometimes souls need to separate to learn the lesson. And if you two cling on to each other, or more than two, then you are not only preventing them from learning their soul lesson, you are preventing yourself from elevation or your soul lesson. So I just want to give you some peace if you are going through that, to understand sometimes there's something higher going on and that you are not being punished. So that is what I've got there. And now I hope that that gave you a little bit of peace. Now, this is for other people that is not all Virgo or Moon in Virgo. This is just for the collective, to just give a little bit of a spiritual heads up. And the first card is, whoop, the first card is not going to show. There it goes. Is the Queen of Swords. Now, this can, excuse me, be an actual sign of Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. She can be a woman of mourning. She can be a difficult woman because she has not had the easiest life, but she's very logical. She certainly is a no nonsense woman, and she will not be charmed. And if there's no person present, the energy still remains. Fun. And they also can be widows or just recently broken up. And then here it is showing a love relationship, a physical relationship that is kind of passing away, or the latest thing that has happened. This card can mean love, attraction, sexual uh, attraction, a physical relationship with another person, but it is the interrelation of the sexes. And then coming up in the future is justice. So that can mean balance in a relationship or a situation. It can mean if there has been something that's been unbalanced in your relationship with another person or them with you, that it will be balanced, and that karma will balance whatever is going on in the situation and bring a balanced, happy conclusion to it. And it is definitely showing that work and employment is going to be something that is positive that's going on. And it does show the Ace of Cups is the kind of love that people really want. That's the real thing. It's not just physical attraction, it moves into the deeper levels. So it is definitely showing that that unconditional agape love is going to be coming into the collective consciousness. So there we go. Now I've got the crow deck that I just got, and I have got to open it up with my hot little hands to see. Whoop. I think it hit the volume. Okay. All right. I'm gonna open this one up and see what's going on with the Crow Tarot. This one was by M.J. Cullinane, I guess is how you say it. Paying homage to the mystical energy of crows. That's why I bought this today. Let's see if we can. Let's see. To the mystical energy of the crows and ravens. Crow Tarot invites us to fly through the veil and connect with our intuitive powers, which what a wonderful day to happen during the summer solstice. This artfully created 78 card deck is infused with the familiar symbolism of the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, making it ideal for both beginners and professional readers with an 88-page guidebook. Presents upright and reverse meanings. Excellent. So here we go. I'm now opening it. I always have to smell it to see if the paper smells good. And it's okay. Call it a weird Scorpio thing. And I do. I've always done that. It's kind of, I guess we came from the generation of smelling stuff when we were in school, when we'd get our papers, test papers. Yeah, there we go. That's good. So, anyway, this is the Fool. Let's see if we can. I'll go and put it on the camera here. Okay. I have crows all around my house that hang out with me. And my familiar cat that lives here. There is the Magician. And this is the High Priestess. And the Empress. It's going to be difficult because you just got crows all over them. But it does give the numbers. Let's see what we got when it comes to the Lovers. Oh, two crows. And then, and then we have, let me get down to the Sun. Okay. The King of Wands. Okay, so it is having some, it's showing that Sun card. Oh, the Queen of Wands is two lions. So we got the more of the fire element there. Let's see about the rods. That's the Three of Rods. And the Ace of Wands. I don't know how I'm going to know them apart. I'm just going to have to figure it out from the bottom. This is the Queen of Cups, which is my sign. And the Page of Cups is pretty. And this is the Four of Cups. The artwork here is beautiful. And there's the King of Swords, but it's showing the sign of Saturn. All right. And this is the Nine of Swords. Ooh, that's kind of ominous looking, which the Nine of Swords can be. All right, so let's take a look at the book. So this is the little guidebook that comes with it. And, oh, it gives a pretty long definition of each of the cards. So you're going to get a little bit more information than you would with the little guidebook that comes with the Rider-Waite, which is a little small thing that comes with it. But it's more than helped me learn. So yeah, it gives you a lot of information. All right. So I'm not going to dally anymore. I have talked my head off today. And I hope that you have a wonderful Father's Day. That all you mothers out there who have been fathers, and all you fathers out there who are doing father things and taking care of your kids, paying homage to you. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.